Welcome back. Your
Welcome
dreams
back,
were
welcome
your
back.
ticket out.
Welcome back, Kotter. No, it's a good show.
You
should
never
watch
saw Welcome Back, Kotter?
No, I've seen the show. I'm just saying I have
Who
to
are
cut.
you? Who is this stranger in the room?
it. I don't know. We
This-
can't get. Wow.
And
we
we've-
can't get sued for that, can we?
You might.
For singing it. Maybe. We should really make sure those buttons are turned off, though.
They're turned
ladies
off.
and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is a show, a podcast, and that voice that you heard may not be a voice that you heard before. That's John Shirley. John Shirley, we have a producer now.
His name is John Shirley.
No, it's not. Kind of it is.
John Calvin Shirley.
I did not know that.
John Calvin, JC.
I've
Thank
only
you.
known him as
Thank
JC.
you.
JC is what I call him.
Welcome.
Thank you. I feel so welcomed.
Who said he could talk, though? Did
You
we?
did.
You did.
Oh, I did? I screw up all the time. It's okay. God gives us second chances. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, today is a day that will go down in history. The first and only day that episode 1 of season 3 of Because You Watched
Whoosh.
will bless your ears.
Wait, the show is called Because You Watched.
Whoosh.
Whoosh.
Star Crash.
There we go.
There we go.
Did I
You
miss
didn't
that
do the
part?
Star Crash.
Oh, I'm so excited because we're back together. It's been a long time. It's been a long, hot summer. We don't want to talk about the summer. Anyways, we've started.
Have we?
We have started. And this season, we are going to pick up not even close to where we left off. Last season, we talked about superhero films. This season, we're going to talk about apocalyptic films. I think I said that word right.
Yeah.
Words with more than 3 syllables are hard for me. Yeah, that's a lot. Anyway, this film that we are going to talk about today is called Mad Max. And our illustrious Dr. Alan Barris is the person who picked that. And before Alan will talk about how you picked it and why you picked it and what it's all about, we're here with Michael Klink.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody forgets about the adjuncts.
Everybody forgets about me, yeah.
Alan, how was your summer?
My summer was fine.
He sounds so bitter.
That's Alan. There's no setting, there's
Even
no
the
preset
most
that can fix
neutral of
that.
comments is interpreted as bitter.
Yes.
Alan, whoever wounded you when you were a child, I'm so sorry.
You should stop talking, Shirley.
Life wounded me.
Yes. Yes. All right. Let's make sure we turn Shirley's mic down and then you signed up for this, bud. Alan, Mad Max, tell us a story.
Tell us a story.
Mad Max is a love story about a man named Max and his deep love of the open road, which is filled with baby-murdering, polymorphously perverse psychopaths.
Wow.
He's not wrong.
I shouldn't have watched it. I thought that's all I needed. It was it's a 1979 film. Is that when it was
Yep.
made? And is this an American film? Or no, it's Australian.
It is
correct?
Australian.
Australian.
And it was shot for $300,000.
Wow.
That's a lot of money for what they put out there.
That's not a lot of money for
It's not a lot of money considering that the budget for Dirty Harry, which has a lot fewer car chases in it, was about $4 million.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow. Yeah,
The Star
now I
Wars
think
was
about it, you're
11.
right. I was thinking 300 million, and then you said 300,000.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
still got my summer brain on too.
Wow. Yeah, this isn't a Marvel movie.
So, Alan, when did you first see it? When did you first see this?
It's probably been at least 20 years.
Oh, wow.
I saw it, I think, probably in college. And I saw it, and I think I saw The Road Warrior at about the same time. And the only one of the Mad Max movies I don't have a vivid memory of watching all the way through is Beyond Thunderdome, which is the third one. And I don't know if I've actually seen the entire thing. Whereas, of course, I saw Fury Road relatively recently. So, well, when it came out, anyway.
Right on, right on. Clink, did you ever see this before?
No.
Oh, wow. Nice. You're a virgin just like me.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the sound of our cherry popping.
And
Clap.
Why you do this to
Already.
me, man?
Listen, dude.
I know.
Listen. Plus, I think that's okay. It's okay to be a virgin.
anyways,
It-
speaking of changing the subject,
I took notes.
he took notes. So
okay.
that's a red letter day right there.
Yeah, this is I saw this movie for the first time today. So I meant to watch it last night, but I went to bed at about 7 o'clock and didn't do that.
Makes sense.
I woke up this morning at 4:30, couldn't go back to sleep. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'll watch Mad Max. Put on Mad Max, and at the 40-minute mark, I fell asleep again. So I just finished, and I tried to watch the movie this afternoon, but then people were bugging me all afternoon. So I just finished this movie at 3:50. So 20 minutes ago. And
Wow.
I tell you what, it was an amazing experience. Spoiler alert, because that's what we do. I don't even remember seeing the Toecutter die.
Yeah, he did.
His
he
death
did?
is not spectacular. It's not as cool as the death of Johnny the Boy.
Is he the last one?
Yeah.
Is he the last guy? Yeah. Yeah, that weirded me out. I saw Johnny the Boy die, and then I'm like, and then there was credits, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Toecutter must have survived.
Well, it turns out Toecutter does survive.
How?
We said spoilers
Because
for this
he
one, not for
doesn't
the next
actually.
one. Oh, okay.
Only symbolically, because the actor goes on to play the Heavy in the fourth Mad Max movie in Fury Road.
So it is like Deathstalker.
Except he's got his face hidden by a mask half the time. So
So I
then
took,
he's a lot older and a lot chunkier by that point,
I took one
which
full.
I'm sympathetic.
I took one page of notes. Our WTF moments, our quotes, and all those type of things that we'll get into. I filled up my page, my page about with like 15, 20 minutes left in the movie. And then I wanted to take more notes, and I realized, oh dear God, I don't want to waste a blank sheet of paper on this. So I started just filling in around because it's not good. It's not good.
I mean,
I must heartily disagree. Mad Max is a fine movie.
Really?
It's a cult movie. It's
Yeah.
not supposed to be shot like an act. It's not supposed to be a pure on action movie. This is a weird Australian movie.
I'll tell you why I don't like it the most. The audio mix is horrible.
Yeah.
Which makes it really hard to
It's
understand what they're saying.
$300,000.
Yeah,
What do you want?
but Alan, it's
just
also
turn up the microphones a little bit.
it's
That's all
also
I have
in
to do.
editing when the score just bring the level of score down 3 decibels, and I could understand what Mumblemouth
Yeah.
is saying. No offense, Australian friends.
But they're also Australian, so that's the
So
other
that was the
issue.
one thing, right? That little bit of an accent coupled with the score being really high,
Yeah.
made it harder for me to understand some of what
And-
was being said.
There were some parts where they didn't even need a score. It would have been more suspenseful
Yeah.
if they didn't have a score at all.
Yeah, kind of like Bender.
Yeah, I guess.
Shameless self-promotion.
I'm so mad that I didn't
maybe?
get to see that because then Alan and I could have been quoting it this entire podcast.
Yes, well.
Been
so,
awesome.
so Alan, why do you think this movie's great?
Defend yourself.
All right,
Yes.
number one. This is a pre-apocalypse movie.
So what does that
which
mean?
I always find to be more interesting than the post-apocalypse movie. Everything hasn't fallen apart yet. When we move on to Road Warrior, arguably the most iconic of the Mad Max movies that sets the pattern for the later ones, everything's fallen apart. It is a legitimately post-apocalyptic movie at that point. This one is just society is garbage and everything's falling apart, except for the long parts where we've got Max and his family going on vacation, where he tries to retire.
That's kind of what weirded me out. Halfway through, it feels like it almost changes to a different movie, but it's not. It's just like
It's because they have a budget of $300,000. The middle part becomes like just like random vacation footage with menacing guys floating around in it for a while because they used all their money on the chases.
No, he's not allowed to use that defense anymore now.
the $300,000.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's not allowed to do that.
yeah.
It is totally why though.
Yeah.
It's a bottle episode.
yeah. But it seemed like it took a while to get going. With the whole
Yes.
goose being killed, they
Oh.
actually set up the goose.
Yeah. It's almost like this movie starts twice,
Yeah.
right?
It was-
Like
I don't
it feels like he should go on because this is really it's interesting, a revenge film because
Right.
the bad guys are taking revenge because Knight Rider, no trademark, gets killed indirectly by the police chase, which Max is part of the. Are they the police?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the role that they're playing. And then it becomes they're seeking vengeance, which leads to Goose dying. Thankfully, Maverick survives.
Exactly.
But which leads to that part of the revenge. I mean, but that isn't even a revenge plot. You would think that would be the point where Max Rockostansky. He has a last name, which surprised me. Yeah, he has a last name. Rockotansky. Which you would have thought that the revenge that Max wanted would have come from Gustine.
Yeah.
But he decides to go hang out in the wilderness with his family, leaves his baby alone in the middle of the woods, whatever. It's fine.
It was an emergency.
I guess. But anyway.
They're Australian parents. What do you want?
There is a scene. There's a brief glimpse of a scene where they're in the house talking. The baby's in the living room. And it's barely like a shot, but the baby picks up a gun.
Yes.
And I'm like, what is happening here?
It's foreshadowing.
I guess. It seemed very irresponsible.
Yeah.
To steal one of my favorite MST3K lines and repurpose it here. It looks like Australia has a South too. Anyway.
Is it all of Australia the South though?
The guy with big guy cousin running with the waders on into the woods with he was
I think we might have to cut all this out. I don't know.
You think so?
I don't know.
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine. I don't care anymore. Gloves are off, Clink.
Hey, so I thought this movie
that's
was
Michael Clink at mclink@artisreal.com.
That's not a thing. Don't try that because you'll get knocked back. Anyways, I thought this movie was the duck's guts. As Goose said.
But your taste in film
is awesome. Have you two ever seen Straw Dogs, the original, not the newer one, with Dustin Hoffman?
No, I haven't gotten around to it yet.
It's really good. It's kind of a culty thing too. This kind of reminded me of that, but Straw Dogs was more focused. Because this seemed like, again, it had, like you were saying, Vanderpool, it had two beginnings.
Yeah.
So Straw Dogs is similar to where there's this kind of kept-in action type thing, but it's, It
would have seemed like the revenge for Goose could have been cool because like all of his revenge stuff seemed like really, really rushed, right? What's another, isn't it Cyborg with Van Damme? That's kind of a revenge style film too, and he's always knocking them off one. I mean, this is a fairly formulaic film, that whole revenge type thing. I think Delta Force was like that too with Chuck Norris. Pretty much half the canon catalog is that kind of guy done wrong, revenges, blah blah blah. But
right.
It seems like so you could have, because that, I think Goose dies around the midway point, if I'm not mistaken. The second half of the film could have been all that revenge stuff, kind of cool, set up, whatever. And then he retires with his family. And then in the second one, maybe the family becomes, he thinks he's out, but then he gets brought back in.
Right.
In part two. I don't know. I'm overthinking things as always.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
One of the things you have to remember about cult movies in particular is that cult movies are almost never good the entire way through due to a bunch of different factors. I've seen enough of these things at movie marathons in particular that it's the beginning, really, and then there'll be a couple moments, usually near the end, where things will build up. And Mad Max fits this pattern exactly. The first 20 minutes are absolutely amazing. The I love the Knight Rider sequence. The whole chase, him ranting over the radio, the mostly incompetent cops.
I'm a fuel-injected suicide machine, I think is what a quote I wrote down. Not to steal your quote, Thunder Allen, but that was awesome.
Yeah, apparently a lot of those, some of those lines are from the AC/DC song Livewire, by the way, which I have not confirmed what specifically.
And AC/DC is Australian, correct? Yeah.
There is no more Australian band than AC/DC.
ABBA. Wait, they're Swedish.
Yeah, that's
the one thing that weirded me out at the beginning, Alan, was the reveal of Max before he's mad. It seemed like they were doing a lot to just give you glimpses of him. And then when, spoiler alert, again, for those that are just tuning in, when Knight Rider dies, and then it's all of a sudden just Max shows up and is standing there. Like the reveal seemed like it wasn't a good enough payoff for all of the like subtle hints that they were giving to his appearance.
Yeah, I agree.
Why are you worried about spoiling this movie if y'all think it's so bad?
Oh, he thinks it's bad.
I just think it's funny to say spoiler alert, but thank you for ruining my joke by pointing it out.
I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't a good joke. I'm just saying.
You shouldn't be saying anything.
Okay, well, I'll just cut myself out then.
So, the beginning of this movie is...
I'm so glad you're here. Go on.
Yeah? Okay.
I am.
Beginning of this movie is
Thank you.
Mel Gibson reckless, suicidal kind of guy who has a death at the beginning, and then he's drinking beer to saxophone music.
Yeah.
And then the end of this movie, like I was saying before to you guys, the end of this movie could be, we could have a double feature with this and Lethal Weapon, and it'd be the same thing. Like, you could easily have Mel Gibson transplanted from Australia to Los Angeles, have the story continue of this man, and it makes sense still. It doesn't, it struck me as very odd that those two very different movies could coexist.
Are they that different, though? I mean, they're police chasing bad guys.
Yeah. And police can't drive, so they flip the cars over and they make wrecks and skate around. And
we don't care about the pedestrians. This movie, I have to say, though, from what I saw, I think that the director was fairly competent. Alan, do you know George? It's George Miller, correct?
Yeah, and George Miller directed Fury Road as well. Cool. I don't remember whether he directed the middle two. I think he did do Road Warrior, and I don't know if he did. I think he was partially involved with Beyond Thunderdome. But one of the reasons that a lot of people really liked Fury Road was that it kind of got back to the George Miller formula to a certain extent. And it's a much bigger and much more beautifully shot movie. I mean, of course, it benefited from a gigantic budget on top of that, but and a lot of experience too after shooting these other ones.
So Fury Road wasn't made with $300,000. It was made with more.
Oh God, no! Fury Road was a definite big budget.
Was it better then because it had more money thrown at it?
Fury Road is easily, objectively, the best of the Mad Max movies. Okay. Road Warrior really sets up the genre. Like I said, it's its own special thing because of that. But Fury Road is in all counts a better movie.
My question,
and it's really well done.
My question for you two is, how is this a pre-apocalyptic movie? Because there's nothing. I mean, yeah, things are dirty, but you still have towns, you still have families, society. The cars look really nice. The bikers,
the cars look really nice.
The Ford Fairlane, the one that gets all beat up that looked really nice.
Yeah.
But the quote unquote biker gang actually follows safety with their helmets on, making sure that they have helmets on, which is weird to me. But it seems like this is just kind of a dirty place, Australia.
Well, like I said, society is winding down. It's not gone yet. Notice there is still a legal system. Lawyers, very badly dressed lawyers too, show up at one point to spring Johnny the boy, as I recall. So there is still a society, but note that the only cops we see are the highway patrol.
In leather. And
they are all dressed like gang members themselves, really, when it comes right down to it.
And you can hear them walking up. I watched it with headphones.
I couldn't hear it over the score.
Oh my God. Well, once the score goes down, you hear of them just walking in their leather pants.
Yeah, I don't think they did any ADR because you could tell when the people got farther away that the microphone, their volume was different.
This was only made for $300,000.
Wow.
Again.
Yes. And I think too, is it the Hall of Justice or whatever it is, that the sign that they show a couple times, the U is falling down. So it is definitely a society that was once probably proud, being kind of given up on law and order, to quote somebody. We won't get into that. This was an interesting movie, and the reason I brought up, George Miller being somewhat competent as a filmmaker was there were some two really interesting foreshadowing things. One I think was cool. The other one I think is really, really weird. The baby at the beginning that you think may get injured in the traffic, and the two cars pass him, foreshadows what happens later on to Max's child. And then I don't know if you guys saw this. Well, at the end we see that the dog gets strung up.
Yeah, that was
Remember that?
Messed up. Yeah.
Did you see when the bikers came into town the first time and the bikes all park themselves? They all back in together like it's whatever. And the guy's got a dog on the back of his bike, and then in the background of the next shot, he is playing with his dog in a way that could be, yes, something could be. I'm stopping.
Leviticus.
Sorry, I just sometimes have to get one out.
This might also be along those lines, but it seems like the gang just wanted everything. So there was the guy running away with his pants off, and then the girl was all chained up.
Did you notice the handprint on his ass?
No, I noticed.
Ass is okay.
Yeah, I noticed that his entire ass was red.
Yeah.
Like something had happened to it.
Yes.
Anyways, that might not be good.
Yes. They were all about mayhem, correct? I mean, that was really their credo. They weren't trying to do anything, right? It was very
anarchy. And
I think, isn't that, Alan, a staple of some of these films? I know Cyborg was like that, right? They just wanted to see crazy things happen.
Yes. And again, Mad Max sets this up where we have the forces of civilization in this one that are facing off against just craziness ultimately, and that craziness usually manifests in weird religious beliefs, sometimes pretty fetishy outfits, as we're going to see in the next movie. Lots of really weird. My word choice in the introduction as polymorphously perverse covers it very nicely. Sometimes the bikers are more coded as gay. Mm-hmm. In other cases, they're just weird. They just are into everything, or in the case of in the fourth movie, we start getting away from the weird sexual charge that's part of that, and like a desire to pretty much sacrifice yourself becomes their lust in that case. So but this is if you're wondering where the weird anti-gay stuff came from in the new Barbarians / Warriors of the Wasteland, it is picking up on a strain that shows up in this movie. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure that Miller introduces that. It
was at the beginning. They were the one guy was pointing a rifle at a heterosexual couple having sex in the field. Mm-hmm. I mean, if that's not something, then I don't know what is.
But the cops are straighter. The cops are more associated with family and civilization, as we usually see in these things, symbolism wise. And then our wild and free bikers are just into everything and into nothing, I guess, at the same time. Ultimately, they just want to destroy stuff.
I have one more WTF moment, and then we'll see if you all have any, because I don't know that you do, since you loved it so much, Clink.
I didn't say I loved it.
There's a scene when Max is with his wife at home, and I don't think they're in the bed, but they're in the living room or on the couch or something. And there are two pillows in the background. You may have to look at this. There are two pillows in the background. They're big oversized pillows, very round, next to each other. They're pink with red small pillows on top. There's breasts in this film.
Did not pick up on that at all.
It's there. It's there because it's huge. They're huge. And I was like, it drawed me out, and I was like, what the? Yeah. So that's how WTF moments go, Shirley. What WTF moments do you have?
I was just trying to listen to the voices, because the first half of the movie, I didn't know the wife actually talked. Especially when she did the sign language, I thought, oh, she has a deaf wife. No, the sound was just so low, and the music was just so high. So I guess that would be my WTF, one of them. And then the kid playing with the gun.
Yeah.
Man. Towards the end, there's the biker gangs being run over by Mad Max and things like that. And there's one of the stunt doubles that his bike goes flying forward, and then another bike comes in and hits him on the head. He's got a helmet on.
Yeah.
Because luckily this anarchist biker gang is all about safety. But man, that looked like that he actually got injured.
No, that would hurt that guy. Yeah. Do you remember that, Alan, near the end?
I don't remember it, but I remember the crash though, so I
Yeah.
could easily see it happening.
One of the things that another pseudo WTF moment was, the bike chases and they shoot it at a normal speed and then they'll overcrank it. Or
Yeah.
they're going at a safe speed and then they overcrank the camera to make it appear faster. It's so obvious when they do that. I was going, okay.
If this is a society that is going downhill, how come their roads look so amazing?
It's Australia, man.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's like I'm from Michigan and the roads in Michigan, you would think the Motor City would have the best roads in the world.
No.
You just cross over into Ohio and you're like, oh, dear God.
Yeah. Well, it's all concrete. That's why.
Is it?
Yeah, Michigan's concrete, Ohio's asphalt. And asphalt is
I blame
fire.
Jimmy Hoffa.
Because he's buried in the concrete?
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, Alan, I do have some more WTF, so maybe you can help explain this. What's up with the weird accessories everyone's wearing? Like every character has a weird accessory. Like the bald guy, chief of police with his scarf that he wears even without a shirt. I'm like, you have to take the scarf off to take the shirt off, then put the scarf back on. And then the ant lady at the farm, she's got leg braces. Like everybody's got this little gimmick. I don't want to say gimmicky, but weird kind of accessory.
They're characters.
Like, okay.
They're weird Australians.
So they're Australian.
This is very much playing.
This
It's the
is
same
not-
kind of thing you'd see in a movie. In a lot of movies where you've got Southern characters as well,
Yeah.
you'll
A
have
stereotype.
Like the weird guy indicated by some kind of weird prop on him.
The auto repair person, he gives Max a pretty long look. If you didn't notice that,
I didn't.
up and down in those tight pants that Max is
Well,
wearing.
that's because he's poured into those pants. I think that's why they cast Mel Gibson, because he looks great in that outfit.
It's true. I mean, there's a shot where he's laying down and the leather pants.
Yeah.
So it makes it look better.
So, in case there's any Australians out there listening that we haven't offended, let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Well, controversy gets listens.
That's what I'm saying, man. And if I get fired, I think I get unemployment.
I don't think so.
Shoot.
If you get fired because of this, it's not because of COVID. It's just because you said something you shouldn't say. And that's your own fault. You don't get unemployment for being stupid.
And
Thank you, John.
yes,
You're welcome,
John
Michael.
is my voice of reason. John is the angel on my shoulder. Alan is the devil. And Clink, you're just here. You're just an adjunct.
I'm just in the background with a funny hat on dancing.
If I'm the angel, you're in real trouble.
Alan, I have a question. Is
Yes.
this movie the reason you took up juggling?
Wait, what?
Because Max at
No.
the beginning is juggling with apples.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I did notice that, but
thought
I
of
do
you.
notice. I tend to notice who can juggle in movies. No, it wasn't the reason I took up juggling. I took up juggling to try to impress girls. It didn't work.
Wait. When did you do this?
Did you? Was that an episode of Happy Days that you saw, Alan?
I learned how to juggle in 6th grade. It was the
Oh,
summer
okay.
before 6th grade.
That makes sense.
So in my first attempt to impress girls, I tried to learn to dance like Michael Jackson because the girl I liked in 2nd grade liked Michael Jackson.
At least that makes more sense. It's still dumb, but it's less dumb than learning how to juggle to impress girls.
I've just given girls drawings.
Oh, and that worked?
Yeah.
Is that how you got your wife?
No.
That's odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You thought it worked.
It did.
My favorite part of this movie. My favorite part of this movie is when is it Bubba gets hit by the semi, and the effect shot of his eyes getting bigger. That reminded me of
Actually, that's Toecutter getting hit.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Bubba was already dead. Bubba, Max shot him.
I must have looked
It was
down
just
for
a
30 seconds.
Slam.
Yeah, Bubba, this guy looked like
And then Toecutter's the one who hit. And actually,
That's right.
the eye shots are reused because they actually did the same thing with Knight Rider.
Nice.
There's just a really quick shot of him right before he blows up.
Reminded me of Large Marge from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
barely remember that.
We'll watch it soon. I think that's a post-apocalyptic film.
All right, so what I mean, obviously we need to get to Alan's WTF moments, but what are the criteria that we're going for this season? I guess would be the next question. But well, I'm skipping ahead, I guess.
I think we just want to talk about what makes this film or the films we're going to watch apocalyptic, and use this kind of as the baseline for that. Because there's going to be films that I'm going to ask us to watch. A movie called Ice Pirates. I think it's post-apocalyptic, but it's in space, so it's always hard to tell. And I may change my mind on that as we go forward, and I relook at what that was. But I think 3 things we're going to try to do: define an apocalyptic film, and from that there'll be the subset of pre and post-apocalyptic. Then the WTF moments, which seems to be everybody's favorite. Hi, Mom. And then all the quotes and things, and then just our random gibberish.
Yeah, so I would think that if we do this, then the more crazy and wacky, the better. Because if we go for serious, actually good movies, I don't know if we'll have that many WTF moments or kind of entertaining little tidbits.
Well, no, because I think
there's always something.
Especially in a movie like this that is, or in films like this that are apocalyptic, even like WALL-E, right? WALL-E is a post-apocalyptic. I can't. Alan, you're gonna have to say that word for me.
The entire second half of WALL-E is a WTF for me.
What?
See, there you go.
Wow, I like that movie. It's a good movie.
But yeah, I think
fat people much anyway. Was a little sensitive.
Oh, okay.
So I think, I think that by nature, those pre and post apocalyptic films will have some WTF moments in them. I mean, even our best, I think last season, Zorro might have been one of our better films. And there was at least some WTF moments in there, I think. Even though it's a lost episode now. Sorry, guys.
What? Seriously? Again?
I don't think I'm very good at
First
this.
war of the Wasteland and now this.
That's why I hired JC. He can.
Is it really lost?
Let's not talk about my problems.
He didn't hit the record button, apparently, I'm guessing?
No, it was somewhere, but now it's nowhere.
Not anywhere. Oh,
leave me alone.
All right. Cool.
That's
so
fine.
glad we have
Your
a
mic was
younger
bad
person.
Anyway.
What?
We're enabling the future generation to take care of the
but we have a
problems
younger
that we
person
made.
actually that knows about technology to do stuff instead of the older man who doesn't really know about technology. Anyways,
back to the movie.
Wait, Clink, doesn't it feel to be one of the 2 youngest people in this group?
I am.
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Congratulations.
Hey, Clink.
Anyways, don't
Clink.
do it. I saw your eyes.
Do us a favor. Do us a favor and look down.
No. Anyways, this is an audio podcast. We're going to cut all this out.
I want the thumbnail for this podcast to be the top of Clink's head.
That's so mean. So mean. Anyways, so with this apocalyptic, go back to this. With this apocalyptic.
See, it's not as easy.
Do it now.
Can we get a drop apocalyptic? So just anytime we say it, you can press the button.
Can I try and say it?
No.
No. Okay.
With these apocalyptic movies, is it society that is either going down, or going to be down, or is it maybe the person's inner world?
That is open to interpretation.
Okay.
Although usually when we see a person's interior world declining, they are symbolic of society declining.
Okay.
I give you American Psycho, for example.
That's why he's the doctor.
It's true. I concur, Doctor.
He makes us smarter.
I try.
Alan, what were your did you have any WTF moments?
Let's see. Probably the only really big one for me is the weird. I don't know why I found it weird that the wife played saxophone.
Yeah.
I mean, white women can play saxophone. It's okay. But for some reason, that shot just struck me as very strange. In a movie filled with strange shots, that one was just kind of I didn't remember that. Okay. Other than that, I mean, a lot of the WTF in this is part of the world. It's part of just everything being messed up.
What was the name of the road? It was Anarchy, but spelled CHIE.
Yeah.
The road signs there were close-ups of the road signs at the beginning there, very prominent.
Yep, that was the first, the opening shot.
But that shot with the wife playing the saxophone started me thinking that this is Riggs when he was in Australia, and then he went to Los Angeles, And then it got me thinking, what other movies that Mel Gibson has been in are connected? Maybe Riggs's great-great-grandfather was in the Revolutionary War, or his great-grandfather was William Wallace.
Was Mel, because
Great,
the Patriot was Mel, I was about to say Mel Brooks.
Not Mel Brooks.
It was Mel Gibson, right?
Yes.
When he had the rifle and went running into the woods, I thought of that.
Yeah.
It's probably a lot like Quantum Leap, just not good.
Not as good and
not as good, yeah.
somewhat racist.
And less cross-dressing. But I digress. Thank you, Shirley. I also had, so one final WTF moment for me near the end of the film when the freak does Max become MacGyver.
Yeah.
The gas pouring out and he decides to set up the light to.
I don't know. How did he know that that's how Goose got it? I mean, Goose was on fire, but how do you know that that's who did it?
Reasons. So we only have about 15 minutes left, and Clink has yet to bring up Back to the Future, so we should probably keep going.
That was going to be one of my movies I was going to pick. Back to the Future 2.
Oh, really?
Alternate 1985 where Biff Tannen takes over.
The alternate 1985 is dystopian.
Yes. So Alan, I mean, is there anything? This is your film, so I don't want to steal any thunder that you may have left in your tank. But is there anything else you want to talk about this movie, or should we talk about the rest of the season and how it might play out?
Well, let me share a few quotes and then we
Yes.
can move on.
Yay.
I love this is
my
Alan.
pick.
Alan, hold on. I just want everybody to know this is my favorite part of the show when we get inspired interpreted words are hard interpretations of and readings from Dr. Alan Barris.
All right. So that said, my pick for the tagline for the episode is larger than life and twice as ugly.
I think he's talking about you, Clink.
Ah.
Or my nose.
Wow.
I particularly liked the weird scarf wearing boss begging Max to stay. You're on the top shelf.
Yeah, that was a weird exchange.
I like the boss, so I like his look.
I do like the weird boss.
That was a weird exchange.
Definitely professionally weird.
I think because he's got the line there talking about, because that's when Max says he's quitting the force, and the bald guy says, "Hey, we'll take a couple weeks off," and Max says, "I'm not coming back," and asks him to come back in 3 weeks. Max says, "I'm not coming back," and then the bald guy says, "Yeah, I may come with you."
Yeah,
that was a pretty cool exchange, I thought.
Let's see. Any longer out there on the road, and I'm one of them. That's Max trying to explain why he's leaving, and which of course is setting up his becoming effectively one of them by the end.
And that's hugely interesting, though, right? Because in order for law and order to exist in a world of chaos, it seems like that is one of the only ways to enforce, is to be willing to go as far. And this is, I'm stealing from The Dark Knight, right? Willing to go as far as the bad guy. How far are you willing to go in order to serve and protect?
And remember, we're also talking about a generation of movies where crime is very specifically shown as deviant.
Mm-hmm.
It's like pure evil to be a criminal in a lot of these movies. I'm thinking Dirty Harry, where Scorpio, the main villain, is just evil. He's evil and crazy, and that's it. And just like the bikers in this, they're evil and crazy. They are only out there to be a menace to civilization and to the values of our hero. But then the hero, of course, has to break with civilization to fight them. This is the old Western plot where the gunslinger has to protect civilization in the town, but can't stay at the end. He has to move on.
Shane.
Yeah, I was just thinking about Shane.
Yeah.
I have a friend,
And that's
Shane.
the classic pattern there.
Hi, Shane.
Well, the reason why I was laughing about the Dark Knight thing is there's a Robot Chicken. Robot Chicken is a stop animation skit comedy cartoon thing. And one of the things was Batman was beating up Joker. He was beating up so bad that he actually kind of started liquefying almost his head. And he goes, "No, one more punch would kill you. And now I'm not going to cross that." But he's like in a coma and he's never going to walk again. But it's okay because Batman doesn't kill, which doesn't make sense sometimes. He can mentally and physically handicap you, but he won't kill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh, and one more quote.
Yes.
Woo! Lots of wooing.
Yes.
Alan, you're gonna have to do that again, but move back. We may have to cut. We may have to replace that.
I tried covering the mic a little, but apparently it didn't work.
It didn't clip. But you know what? If you want to do it again, just for the heck of it,
Make him do it again.
Make him do it again.
Alan, it clipped. You're gonna have. There you go.
There.
Nice.
Awesome.
I am ready to
I love my job.
tear ass across the post-apocalyptic wasteland now.
Yes. So my pick is going to be Warriors of the Wasteland. No, I'm kidding.
Please
I'm kidding.
no.
I'm kidding. No, but I definitely. So we saw Warriors of the Wasteland was our first season, correct?
Yes.
Lost episode. It's out in somewhere.
That one I'm not going to cry about because that was just.
Nope,
Yeah.
that is lost forever.
Yeah, that's fine. We're cool.
But I could definitely see how that was inspired by. I mean, the person that watched this made that. I mean, that's just how that happened. If I think about post or apocalyptic films, however we're going to say it, Wall-E, Falling Down is Falling Down a post-apocalyptic or Falling Down pre-apocalyptic, right?
Family. It would be a pre-apocalypse one. I'd put in the same point. It's setting up modern society as a dystopia.
Mm-hmm.
There's a theory that Pixar's Bug's Life is post-apocalyptic too.
Really?
That's a theory
I have that movie
because they're all connected. Apparently, it's kind of weird.
Running Man.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna go with that, then there's Soylent Green.
Yeah.
Planet
of the Apes. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, or we mentioned that when we were prepping for this. But yeah, Alan. So, what are some of your thoughts and potential post films for the season?
End of the world films.
Easier to say yes. End of the world films.
Well, I've got a serious one in mind, and it's going to take a major investment of time, and it's slow on top of that.
Why?
Sounds perfect,
Man,
Alan.
is this Apocalypto?
No.
Another Mel Gibson movie?
Although Apocalypto, weirdly enough, would count.
Yeah. It's not.
Well, Alan, if you want to make it a surprise, if you want to make it an October surprise, we can wait until October.
Well, it's not going to be that surprising. I am going to recommend my first Wim Wenders movie, Until the End of the World.
Yeah,
I know
words. I don't even
okay.
know what they mean,
right.
Alan.
It is a very long movie and slow as hell, but it's got a great soundtrack.
So I'm gonna need about 4 weeks to watch that. So
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It does take some time. I'm also going to recommend my second favorite movie, and that would be Natural Born Killers.
That's a good one. It's been a while since I've seen that one.
Rodney Dangerfield at his finest.
Oh yes.
Wait, what?
Rodney's in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays the awful dad
Oh, okay.
in the sitcom sequence.
Speaking of Rodney Dangerfield, would Caddyshack 2 be a post-apocalyptic film? Because they destroyed the golf course
Only
in the first
in
one.
that it destroyed the franchise.
Yes, very good point. What about Blade Runner?
Blade Runner is a dystopian movie. It's a weird dystopia in that it's actually mostly pretty, but it is dystopian. The story it came from is definitely dystopian.
If it's dystopian, there's still society, and the society isn't breaking down or hasn't been broken down. So it's just dirty. Like society has not collapsed, but it's got a lot of weight on itself.
Could be still pre, right?
So I don't even know if I see it as pre, though. I don't know.
What about Judge Dredd?
Judge Dredd would count. If we're gonna watch anything Judge Dredd, I would actually it is literally post-apocalyptic because there's the apocalypse war that happened at one point. I would recommend Dredd, actually, which is actually a legitimately awesome movie.
Is that the new one?
Yeah, with Carl Urban.
The
Okay.
newer
Judge
one.
Dredd. Yeah, it's good.
Ooh,
But you got
McCoy?
yeah,
Nice.
you got Sylvester Stallone going, "I am the law." So it's awesome.
I am the law.
I am the law.
That's closer to it, yes.
Yeah.
You guys sound like you're having a stroke.
There's the whole thing about Stallone and his birth that made it happen like that.
Oh no, like I get that
Yeah.
Stallone is the way he is. I'm saying the two of you trying to be Stallone are having a stroke.
Oh, okay. So
Awesome.
we're making fun of people. Never mind.
That's not good. We're not
should-
making fun of people. We're just making fun of him.
We should just have like a hand in the background going like this during the whole podcast. Just cut it all, Shirley. Cut it all. I had another really good one, I thought.
Shaun of the Dead.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Yep.
yeah,
Zombie,
any zombie
like, pretty
movie?
much any zombie movie would count.
Yeah, but Shaun of the Dead is awesome.
I mean, I hate zombie movies, truth be told. I just never got into them. So that might be kind of cool. Oh, what is the one? There's one with Jenna Jameson and Robert Englund about stripper zombies.
Is it called Stripper Zombies?
It might have been called Stripper Zombie. It was okay.
I mean, if you want to go super, super serious, there's Children of Men.
What's that?
What's
That sounds like a book. Is that from a book?
It could be. I don't know.
Oh, that's Of Mice and Men.
Yeah, no, that's a bad one. Well, I hate that book. Sorry.
Oh, Alan.
He's in so much pain right now.
That's okay. So who gets to go next? Who gets to actually
I
make
thought
the
you already
pick?
picked one.
Did I?
Did you?
I can't remember. That was like 30 minutes ago.
Oh, jeez. Well, I can pick.
Oh, we might as well get it over with. Back to the Future 2?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
No, I sent the trailer to you guys because I found it on Amazon
I don't watch
Prime.
anything.
Oh,
you
yeah,
post.
yeah.
Oh, what's that day? It's called Turbo Kid.
Turbo Kid. Yes, I did watch that one.
Oh, yeah, look at that, huh?
Yeah.
I don't watch anything you post.
I'm
Man,
hyper negative, Clint.
are you
Haven't noticed it?
always trying to hurt my feelings?
Yes.
Man.
I got to toughen you up. Came here to do two things: get bleeped and melt snowflakes. And we're all out of bleeps.
Oh, I want to see that too. What is that one? Chewing gum. What is that? We were gonna go see it, and then the COVID hit.
They Live.
They live.
Is that?
Is that?
Is
that one?
No, that's sci-fi. That's sci-fi.
Aliens are taking over, right?
Yeah, but that's. I don't think that aliens should be involved in a post-apocalyptic or apocalyptic films.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Because when Alan, wouldn't you say that if we're gonna let's circle back to where we are or where we started from? Wouldn't you say that apocalyptic films are ones where the breakdown is coming from inside of the system itself and not from an external? Although then I guess any nuclear type thing, but usually that is an attack type thing that was brought upon by themselves, I guess is what I'm saying, versus an external force.
Sometimes the villain is the apocalypse. Sometimes the villain is like the environment that has been created.
2012.
In other cases, the villains are the people who have survived it.
Mm-hmm.
The Walking Dead
Yes.
has like the TV show has largely drifted away from being about the zombies being the threat, and it becomes about humans being terrible to each other. So
In the
stuff
end,
like
it was
that.
man who was the monster, not the monster themselves.
Is that from Frankenstein?
No, I just made it up. I don't know.
I think he stole that from Mary Shelley. But
Probably.
Okay. So are you gonna go or
I just said it.
what'd you say?
Turbo
Kid's
Kid.
great.
Oh, Turbo Kid. Thanks.
It looks fun.
I
does
cannot
look
remember things from 30 seconds. My short-term memory is gone. It's on overload. Ground control to Major Tom. Cut that too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap it up, I think. What did we learn? That's what we do. We got to end with what we learned.
Yeah.
That's our shtick.
I learned
That's why people stick around this long. Hi, Mom.
that if you're going to go out for revenge, you need to dig 2 holes. One for the person you're avenging and one for yourself, because revenge is never good.
I thought you were going to say one for your baby.
I mean, it's just revenge never pays. You could go with the Klingon proverb too if you wanted.
Let's hear that
Can
one.
you say it in the original Klingon?
No, unfortunately I can't. I'm
No, I
learning.
don't care. Go ahead.
Revenge is a dish best served cold.
Yes. What did I learn?
What did you learn?
I don't know if I learned anything.
Oh, that's not good.
I mean, I learned that Mel Gibson is an actor and not just a crazy guy eating hamburgers.
And according to Barris,
Or was
he
it? No,
looked-
that was Hasselhoff. I get those two confused. Do you guys ever do that? Confuse
No,
Hasselhoff
not
and
those
Mel
two.
Gibson?
No.
Really? They got a lot of similarities.
Hasselhoff was Star-Lord's father and Gibson was not.
I learned that they made movies in Australia because I think this is the only Australian film I've ever seen.
I'm going to make you guys watch Wake and Fright later on, which is another Australian cult film, which is kind of amazing.
Nice.
Crocodile Dundee.
That's not an Australian film.
It starts out in Australia.
Does it though?
I think it does.
I'm pretty sure it does.
It actually does. It just sucks.
Alan is destroying my teens.
Yeah.
It's fair. I said Mad Max sucked. It's okay. Alan, what did you learn?
I learned.
Other than you're here with a couple of idiots.
I learned that when the apocalypse happens, Australia is still going to have some pretty kick-ass roads.
Yeah, they
Nice.
are.
In Australia, you won't be able to tell the difference.
Look at that. Now you're making fun of Australia.
Well, I think we kind of pissed them off with the whole shrimp on the Barbie thing, but they'll have a Foster's and they'll be fine. Stereotypes for everybody. I don't care anymore, Shirley.
What did Australia ever do to you?
They were
I
a
don't
penal
know.
colony.
They gave us Elle Macpherson, so I take back everything I said to you, Australians.
As a point of clarification, no Australian would ever drink Foster's.
Oh, damn.
And no Australian was hurt in the making of this podcast.
Export it.
Is it like Killian's? Because Killian's isn't made in Ireland. Some BS, dude.
It's not?
No, I think I'm being cool.
Wait,
Hey, I'll have a
Killian's-
Killian. George Killian's. Irish Red? It's not.
Oh.
It's made in freaking America. Might as well be Bush Light.
If you like Killian's, well, I'm not going to put in a beer commercial in the middle of this.
Well, it's at the end, Alan.
I'm not a beer drinker, so I
What do you
wouldn't know.
drink?
Hard cider or liquor?
That's fun. Should we say bye, folks?
Don't drink if you're under 21, unless you're in Australia, which is, I think, 18.
Or Canada, it's 19.
definitely-
It's 19? There you go. Yeah, it is 19.
And then in Mexico, as long as you can have money and go up to the bar, you're fine.
Who haven't we made mad yet?
I don't care anymore.
I'm just saying, we can make fun of the English.
Let's put it in the boot. Wait, that would have been appropriate if this would have been Warriors of the Wasteland. And with that, folks, don't say bye, folks.
Bye, folks.